The moment I saw Grace sitting alone in that little waterfront cafe in Charleston, South Carolina, staring at two untouched coffee cups while pretending not to cry, I realized that sometimes life doesn't just break your heart. It quietly tests the kind of person you're willing to become. I never imagined that the older sister of the woman who had shattered my heart 3 years earlier would become the person who would slowly help me believe in love again. Before we continue, if you believe that kindness, hope, forgiveness, compassion, and second chances still matter in today's world, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe for more heartwarming stories that remind us how powerful simple acts of kindness can be. 3 years earlier, my relationship with Rachel had ended in a way that left more silence than anger. We had planned a future together, but life pulled us in different directions, and eventually she chose another path. I spent months convincing myself that I would never again trust someone with my heart. During all those years, however, one person had always treated me with genuine warmth, her older sister, Grace. She had never taken sides. She simply believed that people deserved kindness, even after relationships ended. After the breakup, our paths rarely crossed. We exchanged polite greetings at community events, but nothing more. That afternoon, though, fate had other plans. I had stopped by the cafe after finishing a construction project nearby. Through the window, I recognized Grace immediately. She looked elegant in a light blue dress, but her hopeful smile had faded into quiet disappointment. Every few minutes, she glanced toward the entrance before lowering her eyes again. The second coffee had already gone cold. The waitress gently asked whether she wanted another refill, but Grace simply shook her head with an embarrassed smile. It was obvious that whoever had invited her never intended to arrive. Something inside me refused to let her walk away believing she wasn't worth showing up for. I walked over carefully, unsure whether she would even want to see me after everything that had happened with her sister. She looked surprised when she recognized me, then tried to hide the tears gathering in her eyes. I told her she deserved better than waiting for someone who clearly didn't understand her value. Then, with a nervous smile that even surprised me, I asked if she would consider finishing the evening with me instead. For one long second, neither of us spoke. Then Grace laughed through her tears. It wasn't the loud laugh of someone having fun. It was the relieved laugh of someone who had almost forgotten that good people still existed. That simple dinner lasted 4 hours. We didn't spend the evening talking about my failed relationship with Rachel or the man who never arrived. Instead, we spoke about family, faith, childhood dreams, favorite books, volunteer work, and the strange ways disappointment sometimes redirects our lives. Grace worked as a pediatric occupational therapist, spending her days helping children overcome challenges that most adults could hardly imagine. Listening to her describe those children with such patience and love made me realize how extraordinary she truly was. Over the following months, our friendship grew naturally. There were no dramatic declarations or rushed decisions. We volunteered together at food drives, helped rebuild homes damaged by storms, and visited Grace's elderly neighbors every Sunday with homemade meals. Every small act of kindness revealed another beautiful part of her character. Still, the biggest obstacle wasn't other people. It was guilt. Grace worried that dating me would hurt her relationship with Rachel. I worried that everyone would assume our relationship was somehow revenge or betrayal. Neither of us wanted to cause more pain. When Rachel eventually learned about us, we expected anger. Instead, she quietly admitted something neither of us anticipated. She confessed that she had noticed long ago how naturally Grace and I understood each other. She apologized for the awkward situation and told us she genuinely wanted both of us to be happy. Time had healed wounds that once felt impossible to overcome. Her blessing lifted a weight from all our hearts. That moment taught me something I'll never forget. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past. It simply refuses to let the past decide the future. The following spring, I proposed during a charity fundraiser where Grace had spent months organizing donations for struggling families. There were no expensive fireworks or elaborate surprises, just friends, laughter, grateful families, and one quiet question asked beneath strings of warm lights. Her answer came before I had even finished asking. Today our home is rarely quiet. Friends drop by unexpectedly. Neighbors know our porch light is always on. Every Thanksgiving our dining table grows larger because someone always brings a person who has nowhere else to celebrate. The kindness that began with one unexpected invitation continues to ripple into countless lives. If this story has touched your heart even a little, I'd love for you to support the channel by liking this video, sharing it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribing so you never miss another inspiring story. Before this story ends, please leave a comment telling us about one unexpected act of kindness that changed your life, or simply write, "Hope still lives." Your words may encourage someone reading the comments who desperately needs a reason to keep believing. Looking back, I often think about those two untouched cups of coffee sitting on that cafe table. One represented disappointment. The other became the beginning of a life neither of us ever expected. Sometimes the person who fails to show up isn't the end of your story. Sometimes they simply make room for the person who was always meant to sit across the table from you. And in choosing kindness over bitterness, we discovered that the greatest love stories often begin not with perfect timing, but with one compassionate question asked at exactly the right moment.